What are we doing, Griff?
Well, we're rescuing Kyle because his bike fucking exploded.
I wonder who did that.
Brandon.
It was me. I blew it up. It was running really good right up until it blew up.
So they run the bus right before they go.
Unfortunately. So yeah, we're gonna go get him in the greasy pickup truck. Shout out to 07 GM making a flag mount for your pickup truck when you gotta go rescue Kyle's bike. Sad. Hey guys, welcome to Olson's Garage. So today what we're going to be working on is the YZ motor, and unfortunately the YZ met her fate at Silver Lake Sand Dunes. Oh, I just want to test out the 8 pedal a little bit longer. We'll just go for a little rip. And then within probably 8 minutes of me riding it, it blew up. So it's really bad. This doesn't even crank over at all. It's locked up. And I don't know, maybe we can see it, maybe we can't. Probably not. Maybe if there's some lights in. Oh yeah, a little bit. Yeah, you can see there's a rod and there's no piston attached to it. I don't know if that's helping, but. So we're gonna rip into this thing and see what happened. Stay tuned. All right, here's the moment of truth, Kyle.
Yes. Copper washers.
They're not for sealing. You're not supposed to take the head off that way. I don't know how you want me to take the head off, but I would imagine this is probably fine.
I would have done it that way.
You're
And again, I'm not a
supposed to
certified
loosen them.
technician, but...
Supposed to loosen them a quarter turn at a time.
Oh, that way.
Oh, I don't know.
To be fair, when I'm tightening stuff like that, I always do a star pattern. I snug them, and then I do...
Yeah,
By
tight.
loosening, I'm like, eh.
Oh, bud, you can reuse that.
I can?
I'd reuse that.
Yeah!
I would. Oh, it kissed.
Oof.
So you can see where it just kissed the piston a little bit. I'm really curious to see what the actual failure. Well, I mean, we know what the failure. Bro, that piston turned. Whoa. Okay. So what I'm talking about here is the arrow is supposed to face the exhaust port. That's not lined up anymore. So it's probably because the way it failed, or maybe a couple rotations.
I'm pretty sure it broke at the wrist pin or whatever, and it probably just kept going up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, lordy. Alright, we're going to keep on ripping into this thing and try and get that piston out. More than likely, the main failure was just the sand consumption through the air filter and through the carburetor. You can see there's a little bit of sand built up on those bottom air ports.
You can see it on the other side. It's literally
Yeah, there's sand in
some
there
wet
too.
with the gas.
Not good. Not good at all.
No bueno.
I'm kind of surprised it didn't start running crappy.
Yeah, it literally ran fine until it just went boom.
Like you think it would have plugged up one of the jets or something, like an air jet, like it would have idled right or something.
Thing ran perfect until it didn't.
It's like, oh, I'm gonna run fine.
Man, the sand is good. Oh no.
Oh no. Try and keep everything organized. Definitely get new washers though.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm gonna get all new washers and gaskets.
I didn't know this was an O-ring head. Or not an O-ring head, but an O-ring cylinder.
Oh really?
Yeah, I like the O-ring more than I like typical head gasket.
Yeah.
A multi-layer steel. MLS.
That's cool.
What are we looking for? A 14er? Probably could use the impact on that.
This one we can use the impact on. Can I loosen this one?
Go for it. The one thing I'm a little curious about is what's in here. I think we gotta take this side cover off for the power valve.
We gotta drain the oil before we do that. Oil, come on. Because I didn't drain the trans oil yet. Only because I forgot.
I don't know. I guess we'll just rip and tear into it until it
craps out and everything.
Yeah, until it leaks out everywhere.
Either way, it's coming out. Luckily, it doesn't have that much oil in it.
So there, so there's our last bolt.
Like,
As you guys can see, you gotta take this cover off to get to the last bolt for your jug. Put this over here. Grab all these small bolts.
did you grab that other bolt that I had over here?
The other nut?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright.
you gave it to me.
Okay.
Power valve. We might want to take this bolt off.
Yes. Because
So
I
we don't wreck
learned
this
it's
linkage.
easier to take stuff off than try to maneuver around stuff.
Yes, definitely. 1/4 turn at a time.
I live my life a quarter turn at a time.
It seems that way. Jeez. Why? Oh, it's guided. That's why it was being weird. Huh. Interesting. Take the oh Jesus.
Yikes!
Okay. So I don't know. Maybe you guys can see this. Maybe you can't. But we'll get a little bit better view on what we got going on here. This is what you call really bad. So, oh, okay. Well, that came out, so that's kind of surprising. So here's our wrist pin and the bearing with no needles in it. Here's
Oh yeah, those needles were in my exhaust.
the needles were in the exhaust. So here's parts of the piston. All the needles were in your exhaust?
Some of them were.
Oh boy.
I have to pressure wash my exhaust off. There's metal bits that's stuck into it, the inside of it.
Wow. I was really excited that maybe, well, not excited per se, but I was kind of excited that we could maybe hang a piston on the wall, but you're gonna need a forage to hang this piston on the wall.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, that was a good one. That was a good one. We'll assess a little bit more of that when we get to the point. But
Pull motor.
oh wow. As far as failures go, this is a pretty good one. We're gonna... God, there are so many tiny bits in here.
What's this white
Just corrosion.
No. Weird.
Yeah, that's the aluminum
Oh.
kind of corroding onto the steel.
Gotcha.
So that's nice. That dowel is actually looking like it wants to come out. This one might be a
Not fun.
fight, but all right, cool. So we got piston pieces.
You get that out.
We got the piston. So I don't know. Maybe do one of these. Take it out of the top. Impact's freaking out over there.
I see that.
That was weird.
It's like, what's the flashlight doing on that thing?
I don't know. Yeah. Oh wow.
Jug dead.
Maybe not dead, but if we were to reuse it, we'd probably have to bore it out pretty good. There's quite a lot
Ooh.
eaten there.
Yikes.
Oh, I was worried that was a crack in your water jacket too. Right here, it's
That's just part of the O-ring.
yeah, it's just a part of the O-ring. Yeah, so basically, we're coming up with this is not good.
As I suspected, but
Not good. Oh,
That might not be usable.
No. This jug is done. Wow. Ungood. Very ungood. It's cracked probably. Oh wow, you can move it.
I can hang that on the wall.
Yeah, this is a wall hanger for sure. Jesus Christ. Well, I'll give that to you. We'll get you guys set back up here.
Damn.
So, damn, I was really hoping that this piston was gonna come apart a little.
As soon as I saw the metal pieces in my pipe, I was like, yeah.
I had metal pieces in the Banshee.
Oh, really?
So I wasn't too concerned about that. I was like, oh, it's probably just a couple pieces. I didn't expect your piston to look like this. Wow. Ungood. Ungood. The crazy thing is, though, is that you don't see, like, other than from the failure, you don't see, like, a lot of scoring.
Yeah.
Either. I mean, I bet you there might even be. Yeah, like, this doesn't, no, this feels pretty scored out. You can catch it with your nail. I mean, obviously the piston didn't help it.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as jugs go, this one's pretty much junk.
We can use the reeds, though.
Yeah, we reuse the reeds. Wow.
Rip.
Ripperoni.
Ripperoni, pour one out for the homie.
Yeah, we gotta pour one out for the YZ. Pour another one out for the YZ.
Now let's see if the bottom end's screwed. Because I feel like it's gonna be.
If we could get it to rotate all the way over, that'd be a good place to start.
You want me to hold it?
Yeah. We might just take the bottom end apart at the very least to clean everything out. We'll see what our spec
gotta
is
see what
there.
the bearings look like for the freaking sound. I have the manual.
Yeah, we'll look up some specs and. Oh, wait.
Is the rod bent?
Yeah, the fucking wristband's
Oh, yeah.
bent. Yeah, that fucking, the top of the rod looks bent.
It is. It looks bent to the left a little bit.
Yeah. Damn. Alright. Well, I guess there's a couple options there. We could potentially get someone to re-weld this crank and rebuild it,
Oh,
or we can just buy a new one.
what do you mean?
Well, like, you can either buy like a brand new crank and stuff with the bearings and everything, like a hot rods crank or whatever.
Yeah, like the whole bottom end.
Yeah.
Yeah, YZ250 has one. It's like $600 $600. It comes with the rod, the piston, and all the bearings and everything.
Oh, the whole kit. Does it come with a?
Not a jug.
Doesn't come with a jug.
No jug. It comes
Okay.
with everything but a jug. So like it's literally the whole thing except a jug.
Damn.
But I sent that jug, that part number to Mitch, so we'll see what his price is. So that might save me some money.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Because either way, I'm gonna need a new jug.
Yeah.
Yup.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with let's grab that container and let's start draining this thing out
Okay.
so we can start tearing these case halves apart.
Poor boy.
Oh man.
Oh
This
man.
poor girl. Alright. Well,
You were doing so good. Started first kick every time. Come on.
God, you're such a good runner.
Griffin. I always run the best before they go.
Nah, they do.
Sadly, it might have went a little prematurely.
Yeah, this was definitely premature. The
Sand didn't know.
the sand definitely didn't help. So we've kind of determined that the bottom end is junk, and it's not from measuring it or checking the play or anything. Hopefully you guys can kind of see this. Hopefully the camera does a good job. You can see that the rod's actually bent this way a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it'll probably come out, but if you can't, I'll obviously explain to you guys. But yeah, so basically it's bent this way, probably from cramming the piston up and then the wrist pin still being in there, and it just cocked. So we're gonna get a Y Scout kit. It comes with everything except for the head and the jug. So I showed you guys the jug. The jug's cracked. The head has a couple little impurities in it, so we're just gonna get both of them right off the bat.
I don't know if you showed them the crack though.
So we also found this crack on the bottom here. You can kind of see
It's
oil
literally
coming.
cracked all the way.
Yeah, it's cracked basically all the way, except for on the back side, it's cracked to like here. So it's very ungood.
She did.
So this jug is pretty much trashed. So now we're gonna rip apart the bottom end. We got the oil drained out of the transmission. Cool thing though is that if you've ever rebuilt a Banshee, the Banshee flywheel puller also works on the YZs. What a big surprise! Yamaha fits a Yamaha. But so we're gonna start taking this stuff apart. I took this nut off already. Make sure when you guys are taking your bottom ends apart, try to not let this piston whack these sides, because then it can potentially mess up your base gasket or something. I know it's really important on the Banshees because those are a very common place where they leak. But always shove a rag in there or something just to keep it from not whacking. So we're gonna start yanking this bottom end apart. Is there supposed to be a bolt here? And it just isn't there?
I don't know, but I see that.
Yeah, we'll look into some other stuff here too. It's cool because you can actually advance and retard your timing on this plate. Something kind of neat to know. On the Banshees, they make aftermarket plates where you can advance your timing, but this looks like you can advance and retard it as much as you want. So
That's pretty cool.
yeah, so we're gonna start ripping this thing apart, and stay tuned for what the rest of the bottom end looks like. All right, so we got the clutch. We took off the starter arm, Kickstarter. You need to take that off. I took off the cap for the water pump just to make sure there wasn't anything in there that we had to do. It didn't look like it, so we pulled that out. Basically, we pulled the whole side cover off. So now what we gotta do, we gotta take apart the clutch, get this basket and everything pulled off, get all these gears off, and then start unbolting stuff and take these things apart. And hopefully we don't get snagged on the way. Okay, so what we got here is some grooves on our clutch basket. So those are pretty bad. We're gonna decide price-wise. Maybe we'll file these down. Maybe we will just replace the basket itself. We'll dig into our inner part and see kind of how that looks. But our clutches were surprisingly in pretty good shape. There was definitely some pad left on here that we could have kept on ripping. We're gonna replace this anyway because we got the whole motor apart. But yeah, finding some stuff out. So we're gonna take our inner and outer basket apart, and we're gonna listen to that ST every time he drives by. Anyway, these are really grouped up, so we gotta do something about that. Okay, so we got everything as far as the clutch, shifting, drum, forks, and all that stuff out of this side. These we're just gonna keep here. I really don't want to unload the spring and then try to put it back in. And at the same time, this is just an idler gear, so these can just stay in there. If anything, we'll just wash them out. The bearings seem to be fine. There isn't really any like grittiness in there. Nothing failed in here. Everything failed on the crankshaft piston side of the motor. The transmission and the gear train basically stayed fine because that oil isn't shared in a two-stroke. So we're pretty good with this side. We're gonna flip this thing over and see what we gotta take apart on the other side, and then go from there. All right. Hello, friends. Yeah, that sounds dorky as hell. Alright guys, so we're gonna split the cases now. We pulled off our stator, and that was pretty much it on this side. There wasn't a whole lot to do on this side. But there are a couple bolt length differences. So the majority of the bolts are going to be on the shorter side. They go from behind one of the jug studs all the way around. There's 2 bolts in here, all the way around to here. Once you get to here, right under one of your motor mounts, there's going to be a medium length one, and there's only one of these. And then there are 3 long ones that are all the same size that go around your drive sprocket. So that was really important. That was for us and for you, because when we go to put this together and we forget where these all go, we'll know where they are because we recorded them. So we're gonna try and split these cases and see kind of how our bottom end looks, and our transmission too.
I expect not good.
It'll be fine. Okay, so we got all the bolts out. We're trying to split the case. We got it kind of split a little bit here. On this side, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. You gotta come over here on these 2 tabs. I took a pry bar in here just to kind of get these to split a little bit, and then that kind of helps split everything else around. Another thing we did is we took the gasket off. We cut that so then we could split that, and then we're going to split the cases completely now. Okay. Wow, and it's just this easy every single time. No, it's not.
This one was surprising.
It was surprisingly easy, and I'm willing to bet any of you that are gonna watch this and be like, "Oh, he just took it apart. It was just that easy." I promise you, 95% of the time, it's not.
I'm genuinely impressed.
Yeah, I didn't expect that.
There they are.
Oh yeah, there's some needles. Taking the needle bearings out. Look how tight it is in here. That's crazy.
It honestly doesn't look that crazy. The main concern was like these bearings and stuff with sand getting in the bottom end, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, we're this far already. We're gonna have to.
Well, the
replace
new
them.
one comes with all new bearings, so.
Yeah. It's surprising. This looks a lot different than the Banshee does.
Really?
Yeah. That's why I'm kind of surprised, because there's a lot more room. Oh. Oh boy. Look at all the pieces that are coming out of here. Wow. That piston came apart, man. She came apart. So the nice thing about this is that I was worried that the piston kind of was gonna fall into the bottom end as far as like some of these pieces go. But what actually I think happened is that when this blew up, it like kind of ran the rod right into some of these plastic pieces here. So it spins.
If that rod wasn't bent.
Dude, honestly, if this rod wasn't bent, I'd say tip this thing over. We'll clean it out pretty good.
Yeah.
And we could have probably salvaged this bottom end. Ah,
You bastard!
that sucks. That sucks. Bummer. But yeah, so you have your shift forks and your shift drum right here. So this is how you shift gears. Is that this drum spins and lines up different gears and stuff. So those are kind of neat how they work.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I don't know. This was like, I mean, this back and forth, this is a little on the excessive side,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
That
We didn't put the dial indicator on it to really check it. So I mean, this is about the limit to back and forth that you want. But I mean, as far as like up and down goes, oh, that's money.
I'm not gonna lie though. I thought the bottom end was gonna be like a lot more complex and scary.
There's
The worst
a-
part was all the stuff on the outside.
Yeah, there's a piece of piston wedged into the bearing over here. Here, look at this. Oh, I can't see you guys. Hold on. All right, so there's a piece of piston wedged into the rod right here. it like won't come out. So
That might
that's-
be part of the play.
Yeah, that might be. Well, that might be why it potentially stopped too. And couldn't rotate over. Like it felt like it was kind of hitting down here. And actually, now that we're thinking about that, we should inspect this side and make sure there's no punctures or cracks. I mean, you can see there's pieces of piston everywhere. But we're gonna clean up these two case halves and kind of see what we got going on and figure out what we need for parts and get these parts coming here pretty quick. Hopefully, fingers crossed, September.
Yeah, it'll probably take like 3 weeks.
Yeah, so hopefully get this thing back September. That also gives me time to do shocks and radiator and maybe get shocks for the Banshee.
Yes, please.
Yeah, it's only needed them for like since 1994. So we'll get it taken apart. We'll get the stuff taken apart and inspected and start ordering up some parts. All right, so in the bottom end, we found a couple bearings that are on the gritty side. This one especially does not really want to spin. This one's fine. This one's got some grit in it. So we're gonna go and replace all the transmission bearings too. We're debating about maybe doing a YZ250 transmission in here, which is a little bit wider ratio. We're gonna put a flywheel weight, a heavier flywheel weight on it to give it that extra rolling momentum. And we're looking into maybe seeing if we can press this. We're gonna see if we can press the crank pin out and just replace the rod and reuse the rest of the stuff. Because I was looking at it and it's not welded like you typically see. So I'm hoping that maybe we can press this apart and replace the rod and the bearings. And we might, fingers crossed, be good with that. We gotta find someone to do it because I don't have the tools here to do it. But outside of that, we're just gonna do a lot of cleaning and waiting on parts. We're thinking probably 3 weeks. Hopefully September, late August, we'll be back and riding this thing again. So stay tuned for that stuff and we'll hopefully finish up this whole process here pretty soon. See you guys.